Hi Forest Kids, it's Mrs. Allen here to read you another story. Our story tonight is called Over and Under the Pond by Kate Messner with art by Christopher Silas Neal. And I'm here with my two most spoiled cats ever. This is Hula and Dancer. You can see they're really into the story and they're so excited. I like the inside cover of this book. I wonder if they would get excited if I showed them the fish. Look, it's fish. Hula, get the fish. Nope. I hope you're a better audience than the cats. Over and under the pond. Over the pond we slide, splashing through lily pads, sweeping through reeds. There's the boat. Can you see it? I think it's a boy and his mom. The water's a mirror, reflecting the sky. Sunshine and clouds, then a shadow below. What's down there, I ask. Under the pond, Mom says. You see the shadow? Under the pond is a whole hidden world of minnows and crayfish, turtles and bullfrogs. We're paddling over them now. Do you see how this page is drawn? How the artwork is done? This is the bottom of the boat, like we're looking up. And there's the mom and the boy looking down, and this is what they see all in the pond. Do you see everything? Turtle, a fish, a frog, a minnow, a crayfish. That looks like a shark, but it's not, because sharks do not live in the pond, right? It must be a fish. Over the pond, we skim past tall rushes, whirligig beetles loop and twirl, skaters on a warm summer surface. Under the pond, minnows dart through waving forests of grass, while a brook trout lurks ready to lunge. These are called the rushes, the grass that grows right in the middle of the pond in the water. And you used to catch sliders. These are different. These are like beetles sliding along. But you catch those water sliders, don't you? Over the pond, we lift and dip and pull past a row of painted turtles on a waterlogged tree. 1, 2, 3. They slip off and away. Splash, gurgle, sploosh, under the pond. Ooh, look, there's some ducks, and I see a loon over here. Over the pond, cattails rustle and rush in the wind. Listen close. Cluck-clary! Red-winged blackbirds race by. One has grass for her nest. Under the pond, a katydid-fish, or a katyfish larva builds a home of her own, a secret shelter of pebbles and sand. Here's the red-winged blackbirds. Only the males have red wings. And the female looks more like a sparrow, and she's making her nest. I think this is the larva. What was that called again? Oh, I said that wrong. Caddisfly larva. I've never heard of that before. Maybe you have. I think it's this thing. Over the pond, shadows of trees lean out from the shore. We coast under a low-hanging branch. A moose looks up with a mouthful of water lilies. We've interrupted his lunch. Isn't that cool? They dip their head down in the water. Moose have a special flap that goes over their nose, so when they dip their heads down in the water, the flap closes so no water gets up in their nose, and they can go way down and get a bunch of really good greens from the bottom of the pond. There's the boy and his mom. Under the pond, beavers dive deep. They pump with powerful tails and rise to the surface with delectable roots from the mud. Over the pond, the wind gives a push and stirs the light dappled leaves on the shore. There on a branch, a new goldfinch teeters, finally ready to fly. There's the goldfinch. Look at the cool deer out here. Under the pod, tadpoles are changing, learning to hop. They're losing tails, growing legs and growing up. Getting bigger down there. Over the pond, there at the shore, tall and silent and still, a great blue heron stares down into the deep. It tenses, takes one long-legged step, and strikes. Oh, look at it, that's down in the water. It catches a wiggling quicksilver minnow from where it was hiding under the pond. Over the pond we drift, heads tipped up to the sun. A woodpecker clings to a teetering pine, digging for ants. Now it's like we're looking way down. See how they've drawn this picture? So we're looking up and we're looking way down. There's the boy and his mom in the boat, and we're up where the woodpecker is. Do you think that's a pileated woodpecker? I don't know. Under the pond, an otter claws for freshwater mussels. These things down here in the shells are called mussels. Over the pond, a sleepy dragonfly lands for a rest. His spindly legs tickle my knee. Under the pond, dragonfly larvae watch what swims by. They catch minnows in their monster-fast jaws. This is a dragonfly larva. Did you know they are first in the water before they fly out in the air? They spend the first part of their life in the water, and look, it's catching a little minnow. Over the pond, the shadows stretch. Ospreys circle on quiet wings. Raccoons and minks stalk the shoreline for supper. Under the pond, with a flip of a tail, a crayfish disappears in the dark. Here's the mink. And the raccoons are hunting. There's the crayfish down there. Over the pond, we head for home. We glide, swish, bump, right up onto shore as a far-off loon calls goodnight. The sky turns from sunset to dusk to dark. Night settles over the pond. The prowling catfish and drowsy turtles, the scuttling crayfish and tadpoles turned frogs, wading herons and stalking raccoons. There's the little. And the hidden world under the pond. Look, it's the reflection of trees and stars, and here's the circle of the waters. And then these pages talk about all the creatures that we saw. Whirligig beetles, brook trout, painted turtles, red-winged blackbirds. This is the one I didn't say right. I'm maybe still not saying it right. Caddisfly larvae, moose, beavers, American goldfinch, tadpoles and bullfrogs, great blue heron, pileated woodpeckers, oh, what was that? River otters, dragonflies, dragonfly larvae, ospreys, raccoons, mink, crayfish, and catfish. Oh, the ones that look like a shark is actually a catfish. And that is the end of our story. I hope you enjoyed it. Mr. Herrig has this book, I think, as well, that he'll have it for his school. So when you get back to school, you'll be able to look at this at the classroom. Bye, everybody.